Well, good morning, my friends. You're probably wondering, where did we end up? Well, after I say goodbye to you guys, I ended up in Krakow, Poland, so that's where we're going to be exploring for the next few days. Daze with Jordan the Lion begins now. That's right, people have been telling me for a while I should check out Krakow. I love pierogies. The city looks beautiful online, so let's go check it out together. And wonderful architecture, of course. As well as a few places that are connected to the life of Saint Pope John Paul II. I'll tell you right off the bat, coming here at the beginning of September was the perfect time. Right after tourist season and the weather is still beautiful. Take a look at that architecture. Beautiful. We're gonna cut through the park. I actually have a destination in mind. Check out that mural up there. Good old cobblestone. Look at these. You can ride around as a tourist in these. Those are kind of cool. We're getting close to the town square, which I believe this is the largest square in the world. City square? But don't quote me on that, but I think that's what I read. And as we get up here, you'll see a bunch of carriages and all kinds of just beautiful architecture, which is mainly what I like to travel to see. Walking cities with great architecture. Beautiful. White carriages and dressed up horses. You can tell this is a hub of social meeting place. And I'm told at night this is a real hot spot. Now the weather is definitely perfect. The only downside is it's actually a plus for me in general, is that the sun's not really out. It's a little overcast, but the downside is for photography, that's not the greatest condition, so stuff might come out a little bit dark. As you can see here, it's a little darkened. I love hearing those church bells. That's just wonderful. Alright, we got a little derailed here looking at some of the sites. Let's get back to where we're headed off to. Beautiful flower market. Local pictures and paintings, artwork. I always love seeing these. Every city has one. The big main buildings, they'll have a big statue representation. This was the cloth hall for merchants to sell in. Actually, let's take a brief walk into the merchant hall. I'll show you some stuff. All kinds of cool things to buy in here. A little bit of everything. It's all good stuff too. It's not really like touristy junk for the most part. It's actually pretty well made stuff from what I've seen. Alright, let's get back on track. Take a look at some of the details up here on top. So one of our first stops I want to make is inside here. So the reason I wanted to stop here is because I believe this was the first town hall, and then they have this right out front, which is really awesome. Take a look at that. I love the details around it. It's got the gold around the eyes. Here's one of those little models that I was showing you earlier of the town hall, and it says the town hall, the first written record of the town hall comes from 1316. It says the tower and the building were repeatedly rebuilt, and yet though the building that this used to be was destroyed in the 19th century, this tower remained. So let's go view the tower. All right, so I just bought a ticket to view the tower. It's gonna be interesting. And extremely tight quarters. Let's take this little detour. Well, we're getting there. Pretty close. Pretty close to the top. And here are the inner workings of the clock at the top. Now let's take a view. Alright, let's head back down. Alright, I decided to pop in and have a quick bite. I haven't eaten yet today, and I'm gonna, of course, start with Polish traditional dumpling, also known as the pierogi. Alright, so my food's here, and I ended up getting a coffee, a Pepsi, just because, even though I don't really drink Pepsi, I like to see what it tastes like in different countries, because every time I've had one somewhere else, it tastes different than the United States. So that's our lunch. First bite of a Polish pierogi. And it's hardened, it's like deep fried, so I was kind of expecting it to be a little softer, so this is probably the proper way you're supposed to eat it. God, it's good. Totally worth it. So when we were up in the top of the town hall tower, and we were looking out, we were actually looking out that exact window right underneath the clock. Okay guys, so I'm gonna keep it real. Before I came to Poland, one of the things that I noticed on like every site was that they mentioned that the service in restaurants is really bad. And I'm gonna tell you, at least in this case, I totally agree. I ordered 3 drinks when I got here, and it took like over 10 minutes to bring any of them. Then when they brought my food, I said, can I get another water? And it never did come back. I've now finished my food. Nobody's ever came back to check to see if my food was any good. They never brought me my other drinks, and I can't really seem to get my bill, so this is not a good start to my dining experiences here. But like I said, I did investigate before I came, and I was warned on every site that that's pretty much the case here. So the food was great though, I'll say that. The food was absolutely great. So a little tip from me to you, if you're gonna stop in a restaurant, whatever time you normally would take to eat, double that, at least in my experience from that first one, because it's just a much slower process here. So where we're headed now is called the Barbican, and the Barbican is now, I guess it's like a museum, but it was the part of the outer fortress walls that still remain here that connected kind of new Krakow to old Krakow. Even though I'm not a big ice cream guy, I kept reading online that Polish ice cream is like second to none. So, I mean, I even saw people saying it was better than what they had in Italy. So we're gonna have to try it while we're here. And I just learned, if they give you the option of paying in US currency on your card or Polish currency, take the Polish, because they just taught me that they won't charge you the service fee or whatever when it goes through your bank. So that's good to know. My food was about 10 bucks. Okay, so it's showing that we are right here, and we want to end up going up here. Well, I wasn't planning on going in this place, but I just took a look at this and I had to at least stop and put it on camera. Look at that. Man, that is beauty. We'll have to go over there and look at that statue, see what that's all about. Oh wow, that's intense. Here you can see some of the relic remains of the wall still being supported. Take a look at that peeking through the trees. Take a look at this building. Well, if you read that sign, it says University of Pope John Paul II in Krakow. Wow, take a look at that. As you can tell, I love to go to walking cities because you just never know what's going to be around every corner. In fact, what I'm going to show you right now, I wouldn't have seen if I would have been in a car. Watch this trick fountain. Looks like it's going to die, and then it explodes again. Or will it? Did we kill the fountain? Oh wow, what a great statue. And look who's coming back to life. Well, my friends, we made it here to the Barbican. Like I said, one of the last remaining relics of the old defense system, the old defense wall. I love it if you look inside where like the window section is, you can tell that the little keyhole openings, obviously for probably guns or bow and arrow or some sort of defense, of course. Now let's go head over into here because I'm seeing some spectacular looking stuff over there. And then we will go to the other side where the entrance is and we'll try and enter this sucker. Pretty cool, huh? So if you don't like to walk a ton, but you do like to walk a little bit, Krakow might be your city because you can see a lot of beautiful things and it's all within, you know, a good 15-minute walk of each other. So it's really not that far to go. It won't really strain you, there's no hills, none of that stuff. So it's pretty good so far. All right, let's head into here. See a lot of stuff to look at. And you know, like I said, I just love architecture, so I just like looking at all these old Baroque buildings and Art Nouveau designs. The city's full of just about every style. You can see Gothic right beside Baroque, right beside Art Nouveau. Perfect. Let's go take a closer look at this. The details on this are just magnificent. Look at this soldier. Looks like people have been rubbing the hand for good luck. Whenever it's tarnished, I assume somebody's doing that, so we'll do it too. Just, you know, hopefully this doesn't mean something else like, hey, you're gonna have a kidney year. God, I'll tell you, I'm loving Poland so far. I'm loving this. Now let's keep working our way over here because I see a big picture of Pope John Paul II. And there's a good reason for that. So right directly in front of us is St. Florian's Church. And this church is important because this is where Pope John Paul II was chaplain from 1949 to 1951. And inside is pretty spectacular. Let's go take a look. Now here you can see they mentioned Pope John Paul and you can see his real name. I can't pronounce it, but it's Krakow. Now what's interesting about St. Florian's is that not only has it burnt down and been rebuilt many times, but the story of how it came to be is pretty interesting. They say that in 1184, oxen were carrying the remains of St. Florian and the remains became too heavy that it just broke down, like they just stopped moving. And the remains stayed here for so long, they just decided to build St. Florian's Church, and that's how this all came to be. I don't suppose any of you guys would want to go tour it with me, would you? Good, let's do it. So unfortunately, that's as close as you can get. They actually had the altar and everything roped off, so that's why I was zooming in so far. So it's pretty cool to see that that's where they said specifically Pope John Paul was chaplain there to the students and to those with health ailments in the area. Pretty cool, from 1949 to 1951. All right, now we're gonna kind of go back the way we came, not through the park, but we're gonna take the Royal Coronation route. And it starts right up here where we are now. We're gonna go around the Barbican and we're gonna work our way back into the main city. So we would start it back here where the statue was that we just took a look at. You go around it and start heading back towards the Barbican. And unfortunately, I'm starting to feel sprinkles. That could be a bad sign. Although a lot of the places that we want to go the rest of the day are inside, so that may not affect us too much. And if there's anything I've learned from my world travels so far, it's to buy one of those collapsible down jackets and take it with you no matter what. I know they always say plan for the best and then work for the worst, but almost every place I've went, I've encountered rain or something that I was glad I had that jacket. Local artists out here drawing the Barbican. Now let's work our way in. All right, we're inside. And the admission here also gets you admission to the defense walls, the Barbican, and the Celestat. And it's good for 7 days. So let's go up there and start touring around, huh? What do you say? Kind of cool. And there's the little keyhole I was mentioning. Now let's start heading up. All right, let's go. I think there's one more staircase that'll take us one more level up. You can see there's a guy down there giving demonstrations with the armor. Oh, okay, I think we have to go to that little doorway right there. That takes us up. There's a staircase there. All right, I think if we go this way, ah, yes indeed, we can see the royal route that we just started. And there's the church we were just at. Let's work our way around, see if there's anything else cool to see. And if you look straight down, it goes straight down. All right, I think we can head out of here and start making our way to the defense wall. Continue on with the route. All right, into the fortress we go. Actually, this looks pretty interesting. Let's take our walk over here. See this statue? It looks like Hermes. Now this is a museum, and I see a sign on front that's saying Leonardo da Vinci, lady with an ermine. So now I want to take a tour of the defense wall, so let's find our way up here. Kind of creaky steps. So there's a model. You can tell where we are and where we've been. Look what I found when we got up here. A whole crew of gentlemen waiting to say hi. Now it looks like we need to go up a third staircase. Well, I went up to the 3rd level and I was totally confused. They're showing a movie up there with like woolly mammoths and stuff from like, I don't know, the prehistoric age. It made no sense to me, so I just took off and I came back down to tour the rest of the wall. Yeah, I saw the movie and I'm like, where are they hiding the woolly mammoths in here? All right, now we're walking through the defense wall. You can see all the people roaming around. Little view of the park, kind of. I love seeing this kind of stuff when I go on trips. Anything old is cool to me. There's a pretty good view of the royal route we're gonna take here in a second. Oh, wow. This is beautiful. Now there's a pretty cool picture of the royal route going right through the entrance we came through, St. Florian's Gate. And here you can see some sort of pulley system that connects up to here. All right, let's continue on. Look at all that amazing architecture. Just stopped in and bought a bunch of postcards. Anybody that's been contributing through PayPal or anything, I'll be sending you one of these postcards from one of the places along this trip. We're going to quite a few different cities, so I'm no expert on Polish, but I'm guessing that a famous painter used to live here. You know I love to focus on the details, and there's another detail. Now we're going to take a little bit of a detour because I want to see another square they have over here, and this is where I was recommended online to get ice cream. In fact, that's the Polish word for ice cream. I think I'm going to get the strawberry. That one's mine. And I decided to try a lemonade as well. It's pretty good. You know what it tastes like? Since I got the strawberry, it tastes exactly like the old Jell-O Pops. The old, hate to make the Bill Cosby reference, but the old Jell-O Pops, that's exactly what this tastes like. Great. And one of the real highlights to the ice cream in Poland that I had read about was that you actually get like pieces of whatever it's made out of. So as I'm eating it, I can actually taste the strawberry seeds and see a little bit of the strawberry in there. Same with the coconut. When they were in there, I saw the coconut. You could see flakes of coconut in it. Oh man, what a beautiful church. I didn't go inside the church because they were having a service when I looked in. I don't know, depending on the price, I might take one of those carriage rides while we're here. Maybe not today, but maybe while we're in Krakow. I'm sure this lemonade would be good, but when they put the mint in there, that kind of ruined it for me, so I'm not a fan. I'm sure you guys remember all of this. And right here is the History Museum of Krakow. Well, we made it. This was our next stop and our last stop for today, guys. We'll probably come back out at night one of these nights to see this, because they said that there's a lot of restaurants here, and at night this is all lit up and glows. And you can kind of see the lights in there now, but I'd kind of like to see it at nighttime, wouldn't you? And what a beautiful building. Well, gang, we're gonna call it a day. I wanted to thank Martha Santos, Peter Angelopoulos, Rachel Delgado for making PayPal contributions, also Vianney Frias, and thank you to my newest Patreon. I swear this is his name. Thank you, Richard Gear, for becoming a Patreon. Come back to see me tomorrow. We'll explore some more of Krakow and have a great day. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have enjoyed what you've seen of Poland so far, and we'll see you more tomorrow. Have a great night, and goodbye.